The 2-year-old's mother, Crystal Christensen, says as soon as she saw that crack, she called the Kennewick Parks and Recs Department. This patch of land is only a portion of the 160 acres, $126 million for ready-to-shovel land. Washington plans on using that money for over 300 projects, anywhere from a sports complex to a neighborhood park. Racing that moment, you finally get, what is this, 1,000 feet in the air? A Friday night shootout that has left one person dead and sent 3 others to the hospital. Police tell us this all happened around 8 o'clock this evening in broad daylight. A drone could actually detect someone inside that car. First off, this land would have to turn into trust status. All you have to do is go ahead, grab that shovel, and clear off your path. Check goes from here to stores like this one. For months now, from what some residents in this area tell me, Ford is filing that class action lawsuit against Cadillac. Kennewick police officers have arrested a 17-year-old. The Benton County Mosquito Control District is actually flying over areas like this one. So we've been monitoring these road conditions all day long, and though this isn't like the last Snowmageddon, the drones have been taking flight for a few months now. They give officers a bird's eye view of what's happening below them. $5 million to help fix Highway 240's gridlock. Specs, anyone in custody, what do we need to... Tracy Scott, this fire has been extremely difficult for firefighters to get ahead of because it happened late last night. Now, reduced visibility paired with winds are what caused it to go from 3,000 acres to 5,000 in just hours, causing several evacuations like you just mentioned. And I spoke with a few of those evacuees today who say this is something they know all too well.
Yeah, these are my sisters.
The Vasquez sisters, no strangers to Eastern Washington wildfires.
We've lived here since we were in grade school.
Mary and her 3 sisters, along with 50 other Level 3 evacuees, forced to leave their homes.
It's so peaceful down there. It's so quiet. It's a beautiful place to live. The only bad part is the fires.
Mary says every year the fires come, but this year a little earlier and closer to home.
And we knew the winds were going to get stronger.
Officers came knocking, and the Vasquez sisters started packing and headed to shelter.
But when I saw the red, I thought, okay, fire it's still coming.
Sisters leaving behind their 2 pit bulls and 20 years of memories.
We got our kitty, and we got Miss Bella over there.
Not knowing what they'll be going back to, but together, standing tall. Again, if you are an evacuee, you can head over to the Royal City Intermediate School where the Red Cross has food, shelter, and water for you.
I was thinking one more step and I'll turn around and walk back.
Rose! No, Rose!
I could hear, all the screaming from under the water. I wanted to scream.
Rose Hart sits on this dock today.
I was like, I could have died.
Alive.
I could have drowned. I could have been alone.
Luckily, she wasn't alone.
I was just scared and I didn't know what to do.
Her friends alongside her for a hike.
What'd they say? With the sun going down and the fact that, wow, the Columbia River is frozen.
Phones in hand, giggling, goofing off, having fun.
It just seemed very photogenic to us.
Trying to capture that marvelous sunset glistening over an unfamiliar icy patch.
Actually, I bet you won't.
And perhaps a way to test their limits,
rocks,
too.
Or are they bubbles?
Rose has OCD.
It's just never nearly cost me my life before.
She has to end tasks certain ways, especially when it comes to numbers. But on that 12th step, Hart falling in, and then their other friend, too.
I was only under for maybe 3 seconds, bobbed back up, and there was a hand grabbing me.
That hand belonged to Chancey Hyatt, a former Boy Scout who knew exactly what to do.
I had to get on my stomach and just kind of distribute my weight and just kind of pull them back up.
2 friends still here today.
Losing them would be just awful, very awful.
The memories of that day haunting them forever.
If I close my eyes to the darkness, I'm plunged back mentally into the river.
So you got a couple felony warrants and then...
Sergeant John Schwarter from the Benton County Sheriff's Office and his crew just arrested Anthony Aguilar.
I was trying to real seriously. I came down free, sir.
That's where they caught this known gang member.
You have 1 for larceny,
1305 West Vineyard Drive.
1 for theft second, no bill.
Wanted subjects that pose a risk to the community, and that's what we're out here doing, is trying to locate these people.
Each agency involved in the sweep given a list. a total of more than 30 subjects. This team with a list of 7, finding Aguilar, a self-proclaimed Sereno gang member with 3 warrants.
Looking for Charlie Gonzalez, who's a 33-year-old male.
Everyone on that list today, either known gang members or associates. Most people in the home saying the gang member or associate hadn't lived there for some time or that they didn't know where they were. Sergeant Shorter says barging in is not an option.
We're charged with protecting people's constitutional rights, and we do everything within our power to make sure that we're placing those people's rights at the very front part of our investigation.
They need a legitimate reason to go inside a home. In cop speak, it's called probable cause.
We had an independent, reliable source saying that the subject was inside the location, and there was some recency with that sighting, maybe enough to develop probable cause.
In Kennewick, Caitlin Carmouche for NBC Right Now.
Have all this is to me is unbelievable.
That's Scott Spencer.
And back in those days, there was no hot air balloon business. We discovered that we could put signage on balloons, and that's how it started.
48 years later, Scott's a pro, making his debut all over the U.S. And views like these for him, well, they never get old. How could you not fall in love with this?
Every flight, you know, every flight is special.
But there's one he'll treasure forever, the day he met his wife while flying.
That was it.
She chased me all over the place. It was crazy.
I think it was the other way around.
Yeah.
Together they've flown for Disney, for celebrities. That's James Franco, if you didn't know. And every flight, a different adventure.
We don't need much room to launch or land.
Spot a patch of grass and you're safe. Or so you think.
Okay, here comes the bump.
Wow. Going into the trees. Well, in case you're wondering, yes, I did make it out alive. And as for Scott and Lori, wrapping up for their next debut, off to Page, Arizona. In Walla Walla, Caitlin Carmouche for NBC Right Now.